I'm Allison from Learning at the Primary Pond. I'm a literacy specialist, and in this video, I'm going to share 3 fun types of activities that you can use to keep your K2 students engaged during the spring months. As the weather warms up, that's great and we love it, but at the same time, sometimes the kids get a little squirrely. So in this video, I'm going to share with you ideas that you can use to not only keep them learning and improving their phonics knowledge, maybe even review some past skills, but also keep them engaged and having fun and on task. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would love for you to do that now, and then also hit the little bell so that you're notified every time I post a brand new video about teaching literacy. Okay, so like I said, with the spring weather, sometimes we see some bad habits come out. And one of those bad habits is guessing at words instead of taking the time to decode them. Let me know in the comments, just type yes if you are seeing some of your students doing a lot of guessing rather than actually decoding words. Now, of course, a lot of this just comes back to making sure that they have the phonics knowledge in place, that we are explicitly and systematically teaching phonics. But just because you teach those phonics skills doesn't mean that the kids are always going to apply it to their reading. And just because you teach a skill for a couple days and read one decodable on the skill, that does not mean the skill is fully solidified. Many kids, especially struggling readers, need tons and tons of repetition and opportunities to apply that knowledge to connected text. And you can do that and also make it fun with a little spring theme. So I will include a link for this in the caption of this video, but I have some spring decodable texts where they're all about different spring topics, spring animals, just weather, all kinds of stuff like that, which the kids love. But it's also a great opportunity for them to practice applying phonics skill and their knowledge, right? So like this particular passage focuses on R-controlled vowels, and this is for after you've taught them all the R-controlled vowels. So they've had instruction on it. So the way you might do this is, maybe you taught R-controlled vowels a couple of months ago, but you're like, I'm not sure that we're always fully applying this knowledge to our reading. So you get a text like this, and there's a couple of ways. You can just, review the R-controlled vowels with them, maybe like on a whiteboard, and then have them practice decoding a couple of individual words and then have them apply that to read the text. You could also, like after you review the R-controlled vowels, you can have them highlight or underline on the text words or examples of those R-controlled vowels in context so that their brains are prepped to read them. Then have them read the text. If you feel like you need to model maybe reading the first sentence, you can, but you want them to like whisper read it at perhaps the small group table, or you can do this whole group of course too. Have them whisper read the text, pay attention and notice which words might be tricky to them. After they finish, talk about those words that were tricky, talk about the meaning of the text too. Even when we're trying to build kids' phonics knowledge, we also want to build their comprehension. So have them do at least a quick retell, maybe ask them a couple of questions, and then have them read this text more than once. It could be the next time you see them for small group. It could be this goes in their independent work folder, and that's something that they work on, when you're pulling another group, right? But we want to have them read text more than once. So in the spring, you've probably taught a lot of phonics skills by now, but that doesn't mean that they don't still need review in those particular skills. And the decodable spring text that I have, again, link is going to be in the caption for the video. Those are a great way to harness their excitement about the spring weather and spring topics, but also get them practicing and applying all the phonics skills that you've been teaching them so that they are hopefully reading words carefully and not guessing. Next, we have another one of my favorite activities for spring, but I also have all 4 seasons too, and these are sentence scrambles. So this sheet is going to look different depending on whether you teach kinder first and second. Like I believe this is a 2nd grade level, so there's actually 2 sentences and there's a little bit more for them to do. But of course with kindergarten, it's going to be very simple, like a shorter 1 sentence kind of scramble. So what you have is you have the words down here. They need to decode the words and then they need to put them in order to form the sentences. So this pulls in decoding skills, right? It pulls in thinking about sentence structure. So not just decoding words, but also how do these words fit together to make, in this case, a spring themed sentence. Although like I said, I have the other seasons too. They put them in order and then they copy them. And the reason for the copying, yes, it may help with spelling a little bit, but it's an opportunity to practice handwriting in context. So, you might see worksheets for handwriting where they're like writing the letter A over and over again. And at times those can be helpful, but we also want them practicing good handwriting for a real, genuine, authentic activity. And that's exactly what this is, right? So they put the sentences together and then they copy them. And then I also do, like right down here at the bottom, it says what comes next. Imagine that the sentence is above or in a book. On the back of this paper, write a sentence to come after these two. Now, some of your kids, they'll only get through the sentence scramble and the copying, and that's totally fine. But for your kids who are ready for another challenge, they can keep on writing, right? So this is a great activity. It covers multiple skills. You've got your decoding, you've got your spelling, you've got your handwriting, and even a little bit of creative writing. So these are a favorite of my students. We love sentence scrambles. It's also so easy because you just, you model it a couple of times and then you print out these sheets and they can do it independently. They already know what to do. The next type of activity I want to talk about are no prep phonics games. Now, these are helpful for a variety of reasons. Number one, like I said, you will have taught probably by spring a lot of different phonics skills, especially if you're in like first grade. There's just so many skills covered that year, second grade too. But then you want to make sure that the kids are having opportunities to review those skills. This one is technically more of like a phonemic awareness activity, but a lot of these games that I have are words that kids are reading on the game board. And so number one, I love these because they're no prep. And so we just print them out and we can use them. They're great for an independent center. Sometimes I will play them first in like small group to really make sure they understand how they're played. I always explain them regardless, but sometimes it's nice to do it first in small group and then it becomes a center. But the nice thing about these no prep centers too is that they're like certain consistency in game templates. And so you might see one game with the same directions with a different skill and a different theme. And so kids already know how to play that game. And this reduces cognitive load. Cognitive load is, in simple terms, it's just like how much our brain is dealing with at one time. And so if you have kids who are maybe the skill you're working on is a little bit challenging for them, and they're also trying to remember and figure out how to play this game, the cognitive load can be heavy. And we can reduce the cognitive load by giving them these familiar and consistent templates so that their brains are really free to just focus on reading the words correctly or practicing whatever skill you're working on. So I'll include a link in the caption to these no prep phonics games. They're honestly a favorite of mine any time of year, but especially in spring, it's nice to bring them out. It's easy for you, fun for the kids, and they get to review all that you've worked on this whole year. If you want to read more about or grab any of these activities, because remember we got the spring decodables, the spring decodable sentence scrambles, and then the no prep phonics games. Again, I've included links for those in the caption. Of course, let me know if you have any questions. I hope that you and your students have a very good season of spring together. I hope things aren't too wild in your classroom, but feel free to reach out if you need any support. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave, and I will see you in my next video.